After the towers fell on September 11th, chaos gripped lower Manhattan. The bridges and tunnels were closed, and tens of thousands of civilians were trapped. The Coast Guard, as well as an impromptu fleet of civilian boats, led one of the largest maritime evacuations in history, moving people by boat across the Hudson to safety in Staten Island and beyond. At the GORUCK 9/11 Memorial events in 2021, the class visited the Postcards Memorial on Staten Island, honoring the 274 residents lost that day. The following interview occurred on the Staten Island ferry with a Coast Guard veteran named Rich. He tells the story of a fallen firefighter who is also a Coast Guard vet.
About 15 hours in or so. So it's been a long night, a long morning. It's been great to get down to the World Trade Center this morning and stand in silence and getting the opportunity to honor a fellow Coastie and also a New York City Fire Department firefighter named Jeff Palazzo. He served in the Coast Guard and he joined in 1988 like I did way back when, and he did a great job. He was all about wanting to serve his country and be a lifesaver. But he also had an itch to be a firefighter too, and in 2001 he left the Coast Guard active duty side and joined the fire department to continue his efforts in saving lives. Jeff, a New Yorker, was adopted by his parents. He was actually an orphan. His real name was actually Matt, but his parents named him Jeff. But with that being said, on 9/11, he was part of Rescue 5 out of Staten Island, and he left his facility with 10 of his members, and they didn't make it out alive. So, there's no doubt he went there to save lives, just like he did in the Coast Guard, just like he did in the fire department. I think what's neat also is that his wife, Lisa, because he had a wife and 2 daughters, she wanted to honor him. So she adopted a son, and she named him Matthew after him, his birth name. So, and now he serves in the Coast Guard. So he gets to represent his father in the Coast Guard. And another neat note is the Coast Guard named a fast response cutter after him. So there's a Jeff Palazzo cutter out there serving, protecting our shores, to honor him, to honor his service in the fire department, and more so his service in the United States Coast Guard.
How did this day 20 years ago affect the next 20 years of your life as obviously served?
So on this day 20 years ago, I was an executive officer at a small boat station in Michigan. And I was born and raised here, so I didn't know anyone personally who died, but I grew up here. I worked in Lower Manhattan as a kid. I've been in those World Trade Centers, at the very top. I brought my wife and kids here. So yeah, there's a personal attachment to those 2 buildings. Would never expect to see something like that happen. And even though I don't know anyone personally, I know that a lot of my friends that I grew up with knew people that died. So 20 years later, this is a great honor to be out here to suffer a little bit with all these other folks that came out, over 120 other Ruckers from all over the United States and even overseas. So it's an honor. I appreciate GORUCK putting this together and having this opportunity.